Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now, at the time of this particular recording, we've only got, time, an hour and 45 minutes till Prey Day. Yes, people love Payday, but some of us love Prey Day. Finally, it's upon us. Finally, my God, on Hulu, if you're in America, Disney Plus, everywhere else. You know I've been banging on about this. I haven't got to explain anymore. Now the time is almost nigh. Finally. Oh my God. It has been a weird day, I'll be honest. All the proper official reviews, pinch of salt with a lot of them as well. The embargo was lifted today. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we've discussed some of the bogus reviews and some of the early reactions and all that, and the standing ovations. We've covered all that. Well, I haven't read any, not one, of the official reviews, and I haven't looked at anybody online on YouTube doing their official reviews either. Now, that's because for some unknown reason, after following every single snippet of news, every new image, every new bit of footage, every featurette, and everything that's come out for Prey, in all the build-up to this, today, the day before, the pre-Prey Day, Prey Day Eve, I have actually willingly chosen to ignore everything. I don't know why, just to keep it more sacred, more pure for myself. I already know loads about the film. That's a given. But I just didn't want to bog myself down reading everyone else's reviews, because if once I started doing that, I would carry on doing that, and then my entire day would have just been completely given over to just reading and watching all of these people who've seen it, and probably not giving too much away, and yet barely being able to contain their excitement. What I have seen though is people's reactions on forums to this cavalcade of reviews once the embargo got lifted. And like pretty much everything, every other time I've seen anything like this, it's all like, my God, it's like 97% on, what's it called? Rotten Tomatoes. You say tomatoes, I say tomatoes. Oh, whatever. And it's fresh, and all that. I don't care about any of that. I care about people who are genuinely into these movies and haven't got any of their own hidden agendas to just come out with some crap and make it their little narrative. I don't want to talk about any of that. We've discussed that ad infinitum. Now the film will be able to stand on its own 2 feet, and we can all judge it as a film in its own right, as it should be given its day in court, as a piece of entertainment. But my God, we can't wait for it, can we? And now at this point, this junction in time, because I'm saying, it could be like just over an hour's time, really, because when it's Friday in whatever territory you're in, that's when it drops, apparently at midnight. At midnight. I haven't got that as gospel, but I've been told by many, many people now, no, it drops at midnight. The same time that Sarah Sachner's score drops as well. Oh my God, so come midnight, in whatever territory you're in, you can put the film on and you can download the score. And that's what I'm doing. And I will be reviewing the score as well, separately. And Jesus, I can't wait. I've been banging on about the score for ages. I love the fact that we didn't know who was going to be the composer for such a long time. And then finally it dropped, and I didn't know who she was. I worked out who Sarah Sachner was, what she'd done, and then I got all her soundtracks, all the game soundtracks that she'd done. And I learned today that Dan Trachtenberg had he loved her score for the game Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because of its sort of tribal and epic qualities. And that's what clinched the deal for him. I want her for the job. So that's what got Sarah Sachner the gig. And she herself has confirmed that the score drops at midnight on every platform going. I'm not sure if there's going to be a proper CD release of it. It would be nice, because all the other scores I've had for the Predator franchise have all had full CD scores. And of course, the first two have had massive extended complete scores. So let's hope that we get the full score on CD as well. But even so, I'm downloading it the second it's available. I'm paying for it. I mean, I'm not doing any illicit dealings. I'm paying for it. I want to pay for it. I want to pay back into all of this because I love the franchise that much. And I want to, I'm not cheating anybody. So, with all that in mind, and we were talking about spoilers and things like that, and I began to think back to when the first Predator came out. Now, I saw it day one in the UK. Now, day one in the UK was January the 1st, 1988. It had come out on June the 12th in America. June the 12th. That's my birthday. That's me here. That's my birthday. Not just my birthday. It's also my wife's birthday as well. Mrs. Kilt-Man's birthday. Although at that time, 87, we didn't know each other. But so it came out on June the 12th in America. It played, I think, it might have been July, might have been a bit later on in the UK at the British Film Festival. I didn't see it there. But the UK press was very sort of cagey about what this film was. They just said it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, star of Conan and Commando. It's his newest movie. He fights an alien, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. They didn't give anything else away. Nothing else away at all. And this was pre-internet days. Well, I mean, the internet did exist, but it was like sort of black magic, wasn't it? It was all CIA and it was all like the film War Games. You couldn't hack into anything and let the internet was only used to hack into government bloody systems and change the course of world politics and play thermonuclear warfare across the globe. But for like so you and me, Joe Public, the internet was just a thing of dreams. So there was no access to spoilers and that kind of thing. And magazines in the UK, you had Starburst, and you had access to American magazines, which is what I'm going to come on to, by the way. And you had, but they just gave you the advanced blurb. Didn't really say a great deal about anything. And yet, the magazine Starburst, I've done videos on these old archaic vintage magazines, and you'd have reviews in those magazines, especially for likes of Alan Jones, great renowned British film critic Alan Jones, and he would give he'd give the endings away, the movies. Well, that was a regular thing. And it was Tony Crawley as well. He'd do the same thing. They would regularly go through the entire bloody movie on a 2-page spread. Sometimes maybe if it's Halloween 2, it was a 4-page spread in glossy colour. And they give absolutely everything away. And yet at the time, no one complained. No one said, "Oh, spoilers! Oh, they've ruined the whole thing." And now that's all we complain about. "Oh, spoilers! Oh God, no! Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers!" How the world turns. Now, I still agree that you should go into movies as fresh as you possibly can, but I also know that I am completely guilty of searching out so much info beforehand because I want to, because I'm so into it. And that's possibly born out of the fact that back in the day, so much info was given to you, albeit it wasn't leaked online because there was no online for it to be leaked onto. But in publications, you actually held it in your hand and you read it by an authorised, proper, genuine, bona fide film critic who's seen the film at advanced screenings or press screenings or film festivals. So he knew what he was talking about. It wasn't no lies. But the thing about Predator is, and this is what's tying into all this stuff that we've discussed so oft of late about spoilers, is that the magazine Fangoria. Now, bear in mind what I just said. The film in America came out on June the 12th. Now, Fangoria magazine, like most publications, if you bought the magazine in June, it would be dated July, right? 87. It would be July. It'd be the following month. That's how most publications work. It's always the following month. I'm not even sure why that is, but it is. It's the case. So I actually have a copy of the July 87 edition of Fangoria. Now, in this country, Fangoria did get shipped over here, and I used to get my copies pretty much, possibly a week after you guys in the States got it, because they were shipped over regularly. And there were loads of outlets to get it from. I used to get mine from Chapter One, which was a fantasy sci-fi horror bookshop in London Road in Liverpool. And also there's a place, oh God, in Liscard, which is actually down the road from me now. Well, Liscard's always been down the road from me, but the shop I'm talking about doesn't exist anymore. And it sold records, but it also got like American comics and magazines, so I could get it there as well. But it was usually Chapter One, and I remember getting the Predator issue. Got it here. I'm going to show it you now. So you've got to bear in mind, this is about spoilers. So, you know, even in June, when this magazine came out, the film Predator might not have been in the theatres until after you'd read this magazine. And you can sure as hell, God damn it, know that when I got that magazine, maybe a week or so after you guys in the States. So this would still be June in the UK. But the film didn't come out for me to see until January the 1st, 1988. So what am I greeted with in this magazine on the air? And I love it. I've revered this magazine, this particular copy, because of Predator. It's also got Lost Boys in it as well. What's our first picture? There you go. Big reveal. It's the Pred. Look at him. There he is. Predator. Look, in all his ugly motherfucker gloriousness. That's your first fucking image. So that's what it looks like. And if you couldn't quite see that one, he's on the other page too. Look, big close up. Look at him. Mandibles. Kevin Peter Hall's eyes. Look at that. That's fucking amazing. He's got his wrist claws out as well. Yeah, man. And if we go to the bottom image here, which is a picture that always, this struck awe, wonder, fear, and genuine excitement in me. Arnie was the Terminator. Arnie was Conan. Arnie was Commando as well. This guy could take on anything. But to see him looking like that, shit, that worried the fuck out of me. Now, there's Dylan. You son of a bitch. And there's Jesse Ventura, you know, with his chest blown out. Blaine. And what does it say? I mean, if you just got that, you wouldn't know. Well, that's Arnie, and that's Arnie, and that's Carl Weathers. So yeah, okay, we know that. But is that just some, goon lying dead on the deck? No, it tells you Schwarzenegger and Weathers find the remains of wrestler Jesse Half the Body Ventura. Little joke there, Jesse Half the Body Ventura. So you know, if you read the blurb, that he's one of the team. So you know what happens to him. Spoilers again. You know what the Predator looks like. You know who he's killed. Let's turn the page over. Look at this. There's a great... I'm holding an angle because the ring light will just go, ooh, and do all that kind of crap to it. But if I turn it that way, you can see. Look, there's Carl Weathers in his death scene. Arm has been severed. And there he is, having blood applied to his fake stump. There. So, we know what happens to Dylan. Gets his arm blown off. And so already, so much has been given away. Skinned bodies. The gorillas skin them. Why do they skin them? Ain't no way for no soldier to die. It ain't no way for anyone to die. Come on, Mac. Who wants to die like that? But so actually that's all the colour pictures. A nice sairy picture of oh Christ, that hasn't come out well at all, has it? The ring light doesn't like black and white, does it? Look at him, looking mean there. But all the gist of this, it tells you about John McTiernan and the crew having so much difficulty filming there in Mexico, and the bad design of the first Predator, the lobster suit. Joel Silver, who was the producer from Commando as well, he's a bit more diplomatic about the guys who made that, they did great work, but it didn't quite work out for us. McTiernan's it was a piece of shit. There's no way we could ever use that. Garbage. And that left us in a really bad situation. So they had to last minute call in Stan Winston. But you have a great interview or bits of interview with Kevin Peter Hall, who describes beating the shit out of Arnie. And the whole structure of the narrative of this interview and feature is about how his team get decimated. After all loads of mysterious elements, they finally uncover it's actually an alien predator who reveals himself after like taking the mask off and all this. And the whole thing is geared just for one thing, to have Arnie go mano a mano with this guy at the end. And it's the big battle finale to end them all. But it also says that, you know damn well, even Kevin Peterson says, like, look, in the shape I was in, all 7'2", he said, I was in terrific shape, and I do beat Arnie's ass, and I could have beaten him good style. But in the movies, you can't beat Arnie. So Arnie obviously has to trounce me. And pretty much, they give the ending away. And it's just, that magazine would have come out just before the guys in America would have seen the movie in the flicks. Just before. And it gives everything away. You know who lives, you know who dies. And the entire plot is given away, including bits of dialogue as well. So, you know, and that was months and months before I got to see the movie. That didn't change a damn thing for me. My excitement for that movie was still... You think I'm excited for Prey? I was like this back then for that movie. And I was a lot younger then. And I was unbelievably gung-ho and a massive Arnie fan. Stallone and Arnie ruled the 80s. Yeah, you had your Top Gun and all that, like, but that was pop jazz crap, like, you know. No, I like Top Gun, but I love Tom Cruise, but, you know, this was where it was at. Death, carnage, violence aplenty, you know, pure gung-ho machismo, and massive sci-fi element to this, and horror. This was a monster. This was different. And my God, it delivered, even though I knew all of that going in. And obviously Starburst had covered it as well. I knew so much of it. But I did see the film before Starburst did a proper review of it. So I remember that. So going in, I still felt, I was still blown away. Everything I knew about it, it was bigger and better and more exciting than what they had told me it was going to be like. So even though I knew all these little plot points and elements and who's going to die and what it looked like, it was nothing compared to actually sitting there for the first time, and all of that impact just buffeted me. And the great thing about the first movie is that even though we know it inside out, we can quote it forevermore. You know every single scene. You know all the flaws. I bet how many of you still miss the fact that you can't see the real arm of Carl Weathers when he turns around, because in the cinema and on the first releases, you can still see that arm was there. It's a famous goof in the movie, of course, but in every subsequent version now, you know, on DVD and Blu-ray onwards, like, somehow you can't quite see that arm. They've cropped the frame slightly and done some more jiggly pokey, but you can't see that real arm anymore. And I miss that. I miss that real arm. Bring it back. But but even though you know that film inside out, when you watch it, and I watch it all the time, but I've still got that sense of eerie menace and mystery. What is out there? I know exactly what's out there. You know what's out there. You know the exact, like Ben Gardner's head in Jaws. You know the exact nanosecond it's going to come out and scare the shit out of Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper. But it doesn't matter. It's how effective these things are. And watching them a million times over does not dilute that. Now there's real power behind that. If a film can still retain its mystery, its magic, its awe, its wonder, its excitement, decades afterwards, and having watched it for a gazillion times, Jesus Christ, that's potent stuff. That's real. That's elemental. That is. That's primal. And that's the beauty of Predator, that it acts on such primal levels, because it's macho, it's hunting, it's, you know, getting whittled down one by one till finally you've got to face the ultimate demon. In all our lives, we end up doing that in some form or another. I'm not saying we're all out there fighting, you know, alien Rastafarian predator hunters. No, I'm not saying that. But we all face our demons at some point in our life. And, you know, sometimes you face them more often than you'd expect to. You know, in the movies, the hero rises to, you know, this occasion, this event, and then surpasses it, or sacrifice himself at the end, or herself at the end, to win the day. But you expect that, if they do survive, everything's going to be okay after that. No, in reality, you can face the same shit again the following week. Whether it's in your working life, whether it's in your emotional life, your social life, or whatever. We all face these things. And that's why movies like this have this undeniable capacity to take us out of reality into this heightened, fictionalized sort of world for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, or fucking 4 hours if it's fucking Snyderverse or, bloody Lord of the Rings. And I love them as well. But, you're transported away from your own personal dilemmas. And if you can survive their adventure alongside them, if it's that engrossing, then, maybe you can survive yours as well. And that's the beauty of it. Storytelling is like this. That's the whole point of telling stories. Stories going back to caveman times and cave paintings, and then spoken stories throughout the Greek tragedies and all that sort of Greek mythology. All of this passed down every single culture and then written down and then typed up and now just emailed, and like spread across multiple platforms or told in movies. It's a catharsis. It's about, it lifts people out. Stories are all based on someone else's experiences, and then, which have genuinely happened, and then they get embellished and expanded upon, and then we create these little other elements. But boiled down, in essence, they're all things that we boiled down to anything. Whether it's an alien, whether it's, I don't know, pirates, whatever it is, I don't know. Everything that we see in movies and read in books, dilemma, the conflict, is always boiled down to something, which is we all encounter an obstacle, a dilemma that you've got to overcome or try to. See, think deep with Kilt-Man on the eve of Prey Day, which brings us back to Prey. I can't fucking wait. It's just getting ridiculous now. This has been quite a rigmarole getting to this point, but I'm not lying to you. I've loved every single anticipatory, patience-wearing moment of this for months, for 18 months, more. I've been looking forward to this, and now that it's almost upon us, there's the danger that it won't live up to expectations. Of course, I'm 53 years old. How many films have I built up in my mind before I've got to see them and have had to live with, well, that was great, but wasn't quite as good. Or, that really wasn't what I expected. I didn't enjoy that. It's happened a million and one times, and it'll happen a million and one more times, of course. But I've got a really, really deep-seated feeling that this is going to deliver on practically all counts. So, folks, in Prey we trust. I'm going to have another swig of this. I'm going to be careful. I can't drink too much of this because I'll just fall asleep. It'll be on and I'll be like, and I'll wake up. Oh, no. But the beauty of it is, and I said this before, yes, we all want to see it at the theatre, the cinema, the flicks as I call it. We all want to see it on the biggest screen possible, the best, sound systems. But at home, once it's finished and you loved it, you can watch it again, and then again, and then again. No issues, no worries, not paying anymore. No one annoying you with their mobile phone, the popcorn. You're in your own house. It's great. You've already got it. Doesn't mean that I don't want it as a physical copy, because I damn well do. I want an extended cut. I want loads of extra features. I want commentary tracks. I want all sorts of stuff. Of course I do, I also want Amber Mid-Thunder to come and live with me. But Mrs. Kilt-Man might have other ideas about that. But, can't always get what you want, can you? But I'd love a physical media with all the bells and whistles on it. And I've got a feeling that you're going to get that. This is part of a franchise. Disney Plus, I know, not a good track record for, for home video releases. But, and Hulu, we've got no idea what they're going to do. But this is part of a huge franchise. And this film has got, if this was at theatres right now, this would have one of the biggest openings you can imagine. Because the build-up, the momentum, and the fan base that's been created for this is really out there. You know it. We've been covering this, and it's everyone who mentions this on YouTube, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's so many more people who are coming out the woodwork and, oh, I'm a big fan of that, of Predator. Can't wait for this. This is big. It's big time, folks. And I'll drink to that. So the soundtrack drops at midnight. Wherever you are in the world, as soon as it hits Friday, the 5th of August, you've got the soundtrack available. I'll be getting it right away. I really wish I could have had it like today, so I could have prepped myself by playing the music. But you can't go wrong with Silvestri's original score. It's still one of the best action horror movie scores ever. Propulsive, militaristic, martial beat, but genuine excitement and genuine suspense. Great stingers and just wonderful overall atmospherics to it. Incredible score. Folks, what time is it now? Right, yeah. Got just over an hour. Ooh. Well, let's hope it's just over an hour. If it comes on at 8 in the morning, oh God, I'll have been up all night doing press ups and like doing tomahawk practice. Where's my bloody tomahawk? It's here somewhere. Just 1 second. Oh. Well, there's a variety of tomahawks down here, folks. But here's the newest one, of course. You've seen this one. I've yet to do a bit more sharpening on this, and I've got to char the shaft as well. But there we go. Get the feathers in me noggin as well, and away we go. So, folks, I hope you're all going to enjoy Prey. I really do. I really do hope we all really get what we want out of this, and we can all just really have fun with it from this point onwards. As if we haven't had so much fun with it for months already. But we can talk about it. We can talk about that bit. Oh, when she did this, or when he did that, and the dog survived. I hope the dog survives. Please let the dog survive. Because if it doesn't, the next video I do, I'll be crying. I'll be like, no, sorry. Oh God. And that little hand signal will be like that. Folks, please keep it Celtic, and just try and enjoy what we get. It's a short, sharp shock. 94, 95, 96 minutes tops. Don't forget to watch the credits at the end. There's a little bit of storytelling in there, which I do believe, and this is no spoiler because it's been massively said already, that it's sort of like alongside that, the sort of cave drawings and the imagery, the Comanche Native American sort of illustrations that they draw on like skins and walls and things. That is what you're going to get in the credits, and it might actually sort of foretell what may happen next. I don't know. We're all going to find out though. So folks, I'm going to catch you on the flip side of Prey. And don't forget, I'm going to be doing, I was going to do like a quick reaction. I might still do a quick reaction, but I'm not going to do a non-spoiler review. I'll do a quick reaction, but then I'll do the fucking big review as well, because at that point, we'll all have seen it. So it won't, and if you haven't seen it, just come back to that review after you've seen it. Dead easy. Or if you prefer like the old Fangoria days where I tell you everything before you even see the movie and show you all the pictures as well. Let's have another look at. Now we know he doesn't look like that. This guy's a bit different. But wow, look at him. Yeah. You never see him that clearly in the original Predator. I love the sort of they're like stills, photo stills taken on, in the jungle set and on location, and the lighting is extraordinary, isn't it? So anyway, folks, I've said way too much. Get some sleep if you need it. But we'll be back very shortly with the verdict. Oh no. And if I don't come back with any verdicts and I start just talking about other movies, you'll know it didn't work for Kilty. It will. Gonna see you all later. conceal our traps. Maybe you can't see this. Instead of complaining, maybe you should help.